You're listening to Tranzmission on 4ZZZ, amplifying the trans and gender non-conforming voices of Brisbane and beyond.
Hello, you're listening to Tranzmission on 4ZZZ. My name is Ez, I use he, him pronouns.
And I'm Kai, and I use they, she pronouns.
And this is our last episode for 2022.
That's right.
Yeah, so this is the last
one.
one.
On holiday.
Yeah, we're gonna go have some recharge and collect ourselves. But not before sending you all off with an excellent episode of some live music, in fact.
Absolutely.
We've got heaps of news to cover, and we've also got some events as well for our trans and gender non-conforming listeners who may be looking for like somewhere to hang out during this holiday period. So yeah, we've got some of that. And then we've got June from Bushed Poetry coming in. June is not only the voice for the intro and all the sound bites of Tranzmission, but June is also in production here at 4ZZZ, a superstar volunteer, megastar volunteer, if you will. And June's band with Mario from Bush Poetry, just excellent band. Love them. They performed at Gender Bender as well last month, which was amazing, and we get to have them in studio. I'm so excited. Anyway, yes, that's the episode today. But first off, as usual, we will do some local community events that are coming up. Speaking of, a Bushed As Krampus Bash, which is at the Cave Inn in Woolloongabba on Friday, December 23rd at 5:30 p.m. 'Tis the festive season. Come on down to the Cave Inn for free local music. The last night before Christmas can be intense, so we humbly invite you to just not. And take a night off for a Bushed As Krampus Bash. Come bear witness as the Cave Inn plays host to 4 talented acts in stripped-back, heartfelt solo performances of song and poetry. You'll have Bush Poetry, Nicolene Martin, Danny WX, and Frunky. There's also on the same night at the Bearded Lady in the Valley is June Jones' new album launch, Pop Music for Normal Women, from 8 p.m. June Jones is launching her new album, Pop Music for Normal Women, with a 9-show tour across so-called Australia, which she will be performing with her bandmate Gerian, as well as local amazing support acts at each show as well. Then, if you're looking for something to do on New Year's Eve, Shandy Formal Queer Party, which will be at the Tivoli from 8:30 p.m. until quite late. In so-called Australia, high school formal is treated as a rite of passage to celebrate the end of schooling and a night that you'll never forget. But for a lot of queers, this milestone can be a source of stress, not celebration, as we had to navigate hormones and heteronormative BS, all while still trying to figure out our gender and sexuality. That's why, to celebrate the end of 2022, we're not just giving you a chance to redo your formal, we are creating a better formal. More queer, more fun, and more fabulous. And while the theme for New Year's Eve is formal, the dress code and festivities are going to be loose. So, there's going to be so many awesome performances. There's going to be Busybody, Crimson Coco, Dolly Kicks, Henry Spaghetti, Lady Bird, Leah Shelton, Mika Rustichelli, It's not Stefani.
It's not Stephanie
It's
either.
not Stephanie. Yeah.
Stefani.
That's it. Stefani. Talia Novella as well. And it wouldn't be a formal without a chance to cut some shapes and dance on the dance floor with an absolute amazing set of DJs as well. Dental Plan, Doggy Heaven, Nisha Alexander, Nejmia from 4ZZZ as well, and Venus. So yeah, you should definitely look at Shandy as your option for New Year's Eve at the Tivoli. The links for these will be popped on the Tranzmission Facebook page if you'd like to check out any of these events at Trans Radio with a Z. But now I'll pass over to Kai, who has quite a lot of news to get through.
I do a lot of some politics. So
okay, trigger warning, political conversation.
So a bill to remove the requirement for medical intervention and shorten the wait time for trans people to have their gender accurately stated on their government documents in Scotland is before the Scottish Parliament, having passed stages 1 and 2 and expected to reach third and final stage before the end of the year. The Gender Recognition Reform Bill has been controversial, with speculation that the UK government could challenge the Scottish law or refuse to recognise the updated documents. Content warning, transphobia. In November, the UN Rapporteur on Violence Against Women and Girls, Reem Al-Salem, warned the legislation could potentially open the door for violent males who identify as men to abuse the process of acquiring a gender certificate and the rights that are associated with it. Whilst the independent expert on protection against violence and discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity with the UN, Victor Madrigal-Borloz, has urged the Scottish Government to complete its deliberations and adopt the Gender Recognition Reform Bill, expressing that he was worried that the efforts to postpone consideration of the bill or to weaken its contents may be the result of stigma and prejudice against trans women. He also expressed concerns about the misrepresentation of the long-standing position within the UN, including of the Office of the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, on the imperative to legally recognise the gender identity of trans, non-binary and other gender-diverse persons through systems of self-identification. Oh, gosh. He also provided testimony to the Scottish Parliament on the bill in June this year, and on 13th of December published a letter restating his advice to the Scottish authorities on relevant international standards that will be met under the new legislation. Arbitrary obstacles to legal recognition of gender identity directly violate state human rights obligations, and they are by definition authoritarian and anti-democratic, Madrigal-Borloz said. Yeah, so I don't know.
Damn. It's a lot going on.
There is a lot going. It's a really fantastic letter that he wrote. I think we should share it because it's really, really, really long, and I would like to read all of it out. Because it's also really nice seeing stuff about trans rights in this kind of formal political...
In this formal setting, but also like written really well, spoken really well.
It's punchy.
Yeah. It's articulate. And it's obviously been, you can tell that it's been, they've spoken to other trans people and like collated and obviously had the information looked over by people who actually this affects directly.
Well, he's the Eleanor Roosevelt Senior Visiting Researcher at the Harvard University Law School Human Rights Program, and was appointed in 2017 by the United Nations Human Rights Council as the United Nations independent expert on protection against violence and discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity. So he's kind of an authority on the matter, which is pretty cool.
Badge of honor.
Yeah, but yes, tensions are feelings are tense. Things are tense.
Things are tense.
Tensions are high. That's what I'm trying to say.
Just staring at me, looking at me with your hands in the air, being like, tense. Okay.
In local political news, or more local, in Australia, down to Victoria, this I'm reading from The Age, by the way. The expulsion of Adam Bandt's Victorian branch of the Greens from the National Party is being discussed at the highest level over concerns the party has failed to address transphobia within its ranks, escalating an internal rift which may be driving away members. The party's National Council, made up of senior members and MPs, has demanded that Victorian Arm prove it is taking seriously formal complaints and perceptions by trans and gender diverse members that the Victorian Greens pose a serious and ongoing threat to their safety and well-being. Travis Jordan, a Victorian representative on the council, wrote to senior state Greens on Friday, claiming the council was prepared to begin the process of expelling the Victorian Greens if the branch could not demonstrate it was on top of the issue. So this has been something that's been going on for like a decade.
It's been going on for a while.
Yeah, it was going on back when I lived in Melbourne, which was a really long time ago. So it is unclear if Jordan's letter was written with the imprimatur of the council. A spokesperson for Bandt, when asked by The Age about the expulsion threat, said trans rights were non-negotiable and there is no proposal to expel Victoria from the Australian Greens. However, Green sources said Jordan's warning reflected the content of a discussion at a December 5th council meeting. So I guess we'll see how that develops.
Yes. we'll keep it posted.
Well, it's good to see that there is pressure being applied.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, it's good that they're feeling the pressure. Cool.
Got one more thing
you got
from
one more
Trans Health Research. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you've been doing some news.
Gender research into the psychological well-being of parents of trans and gender diverse children has been done. Australian researchers conducted one-on-one interviews with 12 parents of trans children aged between 6 and 17 years to explore how parents perceive their experience of having a trans child has impacted their psychological well-being. Threats to parental mental health include relationship ruptures with family and friends as the child's gender identity became known to others, anxiety about their child's present and or future well-being, and caregiver and advocacy stress. Many struggled with grief or loss associated with their child's gender transition and with reconciling their previously held ideologies or beliefs around gender. Despite such experiences, parents emphasised how their psychological well-being was positively affected through personal growth that came with having a trans child, including an increase in open-mindedness and self-reflection. Timely, trans-affirming social and professional support were both highly valued by parents. So that's a study that's been published in LGBTQ+ Family and Interdisciplinary Journal.
So if you're willing to do the work, having a trans kid is actually better than not having a trans kid.
Yeah, it will pay off. And yeah, I think it's eye-opening. You get to see the whole world differently.
Awesome. I love studies.
Yeah. So if you've got a trans kid and you're struggling, it'll be okay. It'll be worth it.
Yeah. Aww. Thank you so much, Kai, for the news. Also, you don't hear a lot of Kai always on air, but Kai's actually co-producer of Tranzmission and works with me pretty closely every week. And as much as you hear my voice all the time, Kai is always in my ear. We're talking, we're discussing, we're chatting about ideas and how to approach certain topics. So, yeah, even though you don't hear them very much, they are definitely a big part of this show. So, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
My name is Georgie Stone, and you're listening to Tranzmission on 4ZZZ.
Hey, you're listening to Tranzmission on 4ZZZ. Thank you to Charlie for introducing us to that band, and congratulations to Ella Mello, the singer of Rainbow Kitten Surprise, on coming out as trans earlier this year.
Yeah, I'm now a massive fan.
Yeah,
I've been binge listening actually to them. So yeah, awesome band. My name is Ez. I use he, him pronouns.
I'm Kai, and I use they, she pronouns.
And I'm June, and I use they, them pronouns.
Yay!
Hey.
I'm so happy to have June in studio.
We've only been trying to get them in studio since we started.
We began.
So.
It's remarkably hard to get me to leave the house. That's what I've realized. It takes so much.
Also, a morning show can sometimes be not the easiest time for
My
a lot of
sleep
people.
schedule isn't the perfect thing. There's faults in there, yeah.
I have Ez to drag me kicking and screaming in on the morning. So,
I wake up all bright and happy, and you're like,
Oh, you're a morning person?
Yeah, I'm a
You're the
morning
worst.
person. Yeah. So that's how that happens. Yeah. I wake up and I'm like, ooh, I feel so fresh. And everyone's like,
let's do things
What's it like?
immediately.
yeah, but then I'm tired. I'm not great in the evening,
Yeah.
whereas Kai would be like, woo! And I'm just like,
things.
I have the
I'm like, it's
problem of-
8:30, it's bedtime, come on.
I always want to practice music in the evening, 9 p.m. onwards, and I don't think my neighbours would take kindly to accordion at that point of time. I think that might go down badly.
That might be the perfect time for an accordion.
I think I might be killed, is the truth.
It's like, please stop.
I've only ever had one noise complaint from it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised you had any.
Well, they were studying.
Oh, right,
And they were
okay.
learning a very repetitive song over and over again, and so I just got a little, please stop.
Hey, look, can you do a community service?
Yeah.
And pipe down for just 2 days until I finish my exams. So good to have you, June. How have you been?
I'm doing fantastic, actually.
Yeah.
Working lots, but been doing a lot of music, which has been really nice. We played at Gender Bender earlier this year, which was phenomenal. And thank you for organising that. It was an amazing time.
Yeah, no, I had a blast organising that as well.
It was good fun, good party.
Yeah, and special thanks to Ruth from Dykes on Mics as well, who basically made this all really happen, because she reached out to me and was like, hey, you want to make a trans queer thing? And I was like, yeah, right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
Every day I want to make this, actually.
It's my life.
Please. So yeah, no, it's been a very good couple weeks.
Yeah.
I can't complain.
It's been an interesting year actually, because I was thinking about like some highlights and Transmissions is our first grid and 4ZZZ. And I remember June and I working in the production being like, we need to come up with an intro.
Yeah, it was so much fun putting that together as well.
It was fun, and you sort of went and found the
Morse code.
The Morse code
Yeah,
generator.
I'm so proud of that.
And Toby, who edits the podcast for Transmission every week, he actually puts in little segue spots with using Morse code as well. And he asked me, what's a buzzword for the episode? And he makes it in Morse code.
Oh, yes.
So for anyone who's
it's
actually...
a theme.
It's a theme. So for anyone who actually like really hardcore listens to Transmission...
little Easter eggs.
They're actually Easter eggs. The Morse code words. They are Morse code words
really cool.
themed around each
I'm
episode.
such a trendsetter. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. All you.
All me.
Yeah. And I also I love finding like anything that you produce at Zed and using just your voice, because I'm like, yes, I'm just going to use June's voice for everything.
Yeah, 100%. Steal my voice. See what happens. It's great. Yeah.
If you end up like leaving Zed and getting famous or like disappearing somewhere, I'd be like, this is ours forever. We are never changing the intro. It will be this for life now.
We are claiming this. This is yeah.
We knew them way back when.
Before they were cool.
Yeah.
I don't think, I am a banjo and accordion player. There is the height on that sort of fame that we're getting from this. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, there's not many of them. You could be niche. You could
That's
be
true.
Sort
of respected in my field.
I'm terrible at Lizzo with the flute.
Yeah,
That's true,
totally.
So,
I do want to play some historical figures' ancient accordion and just sort of see the drama that it causes.
you should do like some kind of like Roman-esque or like Sappho poetry or something, and then convert it into like an accordion banjo.
Now
like folk.
This is something. I'm just going to take some
We're
notes.
just going to turn this whole session into like a collaborative discussion now.
100%.
Yeah.
We've got a whiteboard out. We've got to start like mind mapping everything. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
we'll like narrow down a list of Sappho quotes and things, and we'll try and formulate something. We'll have a song called "The Isle of Lesbos."
Oh yeah, absolutely. Perfect.
You're listening to Transmission on 4ZZZ, and we're hanging out with June from Bush Poetry, who's also from Transmission as well, but also from Zed, and so everywhere. It's great. Multi-talented being over here, our wonderful cryptid, June. We're so excited. It's our last episode of Transmission for the year, as Kai and I are actually going to be away for the next 2 weeks. So if you are listening on the podcast, we will not have a podcast up for the next 2 weeks, but you can listen live. There will still be some banging playlists that Kai and I have put together for you to listen back to, and they'll be played on air live. And you can listen back on demand for those ones, but they will not be on the podcast. So yeah, just sort of give a heads up.
Yes, they will be music heavy.
They will be music only, and me waffling on about music, and catching up on a lot of artists that I wanted to play throughout the year, but I couldn't because. And a 1 hour show is tight, so...
There's so much music to listen to as well. Like, people are constantly creating new stuff, and it's so hard to keep up with it all.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think there was maybe at one point we were like, do you think we'll be able to find enough music to, by trans artists to fill an hour
we were
for
worried.
months?
We were really worried.
There are so many amazingly talented trans musicians out there. And I know we haven't even found all of them. So also send us your music if you're a trans musician.
Yeah. Actually, reminding me, someone has messaged me asking to give me music. I should really get on that. Yes,
you should.
Send me your music, because we want to play you, and particularly like local, Meanjin and like Southeast Queensland. That's a big part of this.
We literally exist to like do your publicity. Essentially,
we are like conduits. Like give us the thing, and we'll channel that onto the airways. That's what we're doing.
Amplifiers. That's the whole
That's
thing.
it. Giant megaphone. Amplifying the voices of the trans and gender non-conforming community of Meanjin, Brisbane and beyond.
Transmission on 4ZZZ brings you the latest in trans community news, music and events.
Every Tuesday from 9 a.m. till 10 a.m.
Join our team of hosts for an hour of celebrating the unique perspectives of the trans community.
Transmission, Tuesday mornings from 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. on 4ZZZ. My name is Ez, I use he, him pronouns, and I'm joined in studio with the incredible June from Bush Poetry. Hi.
Hello, I'm June. I use they, them pronouns. I'm from Bush Poetry.
Yeah, so excited.
I'd actually like to, before I start doing some songs, just quickly like to say, please, everyone, go check out my band, Bush Poetry. My two musical collaborators, Mario and Aiden, have been wonderful for helping me find a voice in music and figure out what I actually want to write. And that band is one of the greatest joys of my life right now.
Yeah, you have to see them. You have
100%.
to see them.
We have an event planned for the 23rd of December at Oh, I should know this.
The Cave In.
The Cave In.
Yes.
Oh my good, you're better at this than I am. Yeah.
I'm a fan.
It's a sort of a Christmas event that we're doing. I unfortunately am unable to make it because I have to work for capitalism and I have to make money to live, unfortunately. However, please turn up and support the band. It is going to be an amazing night with some amazing artists.
And if you want to see June, you can head over to the Transmission Facebook page right now at Trans Radio with a Z. We are live on Facebook, and you can see us in studio. You can see June performing. I'm going to leave it all up to you
Wonderful.
now. You take it away.
How's this sounding? They're coming through okay? Do you feel... I should introduce the song. My first song was made from a tweet that said, sometimes transitioning is realizing no one's going to force fem you, so you got to roll up your sleeves and do it yourself. So I guess mild content warning for the song. Should have thought that through. Enjoy, my friends. Do you feel in the dumps like life is never enough? It hurts to look at yourself taking a toll on your mental health. Well, come with me, I'll show you your destiny. 'Cause I've got a neat little trick that'll fix you up real quick. Sometimes there's no hope in your eyes, but come with me, I'll see through your disguise. Force fem yourself, force fem yourself. Just take this estrogel and we'll crack that eggshell. Force fem yourself, force fem yourself. The solution is so near, it'll become crystal clear. Just get yourself some cat ears and thigh-high socks, trust me. You'd be surprised how joyful you can be. And slap on this maid outfit, take your dose of E. Welcome to gender anarchy. Force fem yourself, force fem yourself. Just take this estrogel and we'll crack that eggshell. Force fem yourself, force fem yourself. The solution is so near, it'll become crystal clear. Now every waking moment, it's a statement, it's a fight. It's a miracle you're still alive. And every breath you take, it breaks the rules that they make. We're better than them and we will survive. Force fem yourself, force fem yourself. Just take this estrogel and we'll crack that eggshell. Force fem yourself, force fem yourself. The solution is so near, it'll become crystal clear. Thank you very much. That was one of my favorite fun songs to do.
Yeah, that went off at Greaser Bar as well, actually.
Oh my goodness.
That was an amazing track.
A yell of support every time I said the phrase "force fem yourself" was a true joy. It got me every time. Now I'm pulling out a piece of paper so I can read off it real quick for this one, because this next song is a cover. It is called Candy Says by the Velvet Underground. It is by an actor called Candy Darling that was a muse to them. She was a trans actress who worked with Andy Warhol and that sort of stuff. And she died quite young of lymphoma. I found out about the song. I read about Candy Darling. I cried. I learned the song. I think you're noticing a trend in the music that I'm going to talk about throughout this whole thing. Let me just fix my microphone cord. Or mic. Headphones. Hey, there we are. Candy says I've come to hate my body and all that it requires in this world. Candy says I'd like to know completely what other souls discreetly talk about. I'm gonna watch the bluebirds fly over my shoulder I'm gonna watch them pass me by. Maybe when I'm older, what do you think I'd see if I could walk away from me? Candy says, I hate the quiet places that cause the smallest taste of what will be. Candy says, I hate the big decisions that cause endless revisions in my mind. I'm gonna watch the bluebirds fly over my shoulder. I'm gonna watch them pass me by. Maybe when I'm older, what do you think I'd see if I could walk away from me? I'm gonna watch them pass me by. 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 Yeah, one of my favorite songs. Means a lot to me, that one. And I'm just going to swap instruments one more time.
That was beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Oh, getting a little emotional in here.
Just a bit.
Yeah. So when did you start learning that one?
About 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's a recent addition to the repertoire, that one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Thank you. Yeah, it means a lot to me, that one. Hang on. Awesome. And I've got one last one today. It is going to be... It was requested, actually, specifically by Kai. I was told Kai would really like this. It is called Goblin. Just Goblin. And let's see if I can remember all the words. I want to be a little goblin, no care in my life. I want to be a little goblin with a goblin wife. I want to be a little goblin, happy and carefree. I want to be a little goblin living in a tree. And I want to be a moth person, my wings would be so large. I want to be a moth person, mysterious and in charge. I want to be a moth person with a perfect ass. I want to be a moth person, that life would be first class. It's the cryptid life for me, it's so easy, you see. Living in the woods with no one to perceive me. One day I will run away and escape from it all, but it'll take some time to work up the goal. Bum ba dum ba dum bum ba dum ba dum bum ba dum ba dum bum. Bum ba dum ba dum bum ba dum ba dum bum ba dum ba dum bum. Bum ba dum ba dum 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 bum. And I want to be a myconid, given human form. I want to be a fungus freak, I'm sick of blood that's warm. I want to be a myconid, they seem like such fun guys. I want to be a myconid and I will never die. And I want to be a vampire with big and sexy teeth. I want to be a vampire with all humans beneath. I want to be a vampire, I'll go to vampire raves. I want to be a vampire, that is the latest craze. It's the cryptid life for me, it's so easy, you see. Living in the woods with no one to perceive me. One day I will run away and escape from it all, but it'll take some time to work up the goal. I said it's the cryptid life for me, it's so easy, you see. Living in the woods with no one to perceive me. One day I will run away and escape from it all, but it'll take some time to work up the goal.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, that was amazing.
I hope
my
everyone
goodness.
enjoyed.
Yeah. thank you so much for coming in, June, and sharing some of your music with us. Yeah, that was amazing.
It's been an absolute joy. You can find Bush Poetry on Bandcamp, on Spotify, on Facebook. That is most of the places that we're on.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can find information about upcoming events on those sorts of places, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, cool. We'll chuck a link on the Tranzmission Facebook page as well, at Trans Radio with a Z. You can check it all out. If you wanna go back and watch June perform live just now, we did just go live on Facebook as well. So yeah, at Trans Radio with a Z. And we're gonna say goodbye from here from Tranzmission. Thank you so much, everyone, Mianjin, for listening and holding space for the trans and gender non-conforming community on the 4ZZZ airways for this last 6 months. We very much look forward to the next year being here and amplifying the voices of the trans and gender non-conforming community, not just here in Mianjin, but around Australia, around the world. We're doing stuff that is actually not really anywhere else. I believe we're the first for trans broadcast in the country, which is sad, but also really powerful. And we have a wonderful time doing this show, highlighting the positive and also painful aspects of this community. But we look forward to 2023. We look forward to more of Bush Poetry. We look forward to more of just a better world for us all. Anything you'd like to say, Kai?
Yeah, it's an honour and a joy, and to everyone over this holiday period, I hope you hold each other and call each other and be there for each other, because it can be really hard, but it can be really beautiful if you share it with the right people. So until next year.
Until next year. Thank you so much, and we will see you next year.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to Tranzmission. See you next Tuesday, 9 to 10 a.m. on 4ZZZ.